now listening to a Purple Crayon Productions broadcast.
Hello everybody and welcome to Solved. My name is Emma Creekmore and today we're going to be talking about flat Earth. Now, what is flat Earth? So flat Earth is the concept that the Earth is flat as opposed to a spherical shape. What exactly this flat Earth is has changed across time and region, but fundamentally it's the theory or belief that the Earth is a flat disk floating in space rather than a spherical ball floating in space. Now, why would I be talking about flat Earth on a show about cryptid and the uncanny being proven true? Well, if you think about it, the original conspiracy theory was that the Earth was round, which had to be proven true and is the assumption the world has been running on with since around the 6th century. Looking back on Western civilizations, most pre-Socratic Western civilizations had similar beliefs. It was a pretty wide consensus that the Earth was a flat disk surrounded by ocean on all sides. The ocean on all sides was sort of believed to infinitely exist out in every direction. Many civilizations, including Egypt and Mesopotamia, believed that the ocean the Earth was floating on was a god and frequently thought to be a major deity. Nordic and Germanic civilizations held most of the same beliefs, but they also had the addition of a world tree that sits at the center of the Earth. So pre-Socrates and Plato and Aristotle and all of them, most philosophers believed the world was flat. However, it is believed that Pythagoras was the first to pose the idea that the Earth isn't flat. If he did, he would have done so during the 6th century BC, but his theory was taken to be more of a conspiracy at the time. And after being taught Pythagorean math, Plato actually also taught that the Earth was a sphere. However, he posed no physical or even experiential evidence to justify his claims. Aristotle was the first to provide evidence that the Earth was round. He noticed that some stars in Egypt were not visible in Cyprus and vice versa, which would not be possible if the Earth was flat, as without a curve of some kind, all stars would be visible in both places. So he posed that the idea that the Earth was round. He then later deduced that based on the Earth's round shadow during a lunar eclipse that the Earth was indeed round. Post these claims and post Aristotle in general, it was common knowledge in the Western world that the Earth was round. Although the Earth being spherical was considered common knowledge in Western civilizations post 4th century BC, the Eastern civilizations held the belief that the Earth was flat up until the 17th century. They believed that the Earth was flat and square and that the heavens were round. There is evidence, though, that Chinese philosophers had discovered similar things to the Greek philosophers. However, they concluded that it meant the heavens were round while the Earth is still flat. By the 17th century, the entire Earth was pretty confident in the knowledge that the Earth was spherical. And on the 24th of October in 1946, the first photo of the Earth was taken on a roll of film showing the curvature of the horizon, thus definitively proving the Earth is physical. However, despite this, during the rise in social media and during the information age, the idea of flat Earth has been re-emerging as a theory. When thinking of flat earthers previously, I'd always assumed them to be tinfoil hat kind of people who don't really believe anything the government says. And during my research to learn more about them and the flat earth community and belief systems, I discovered a lot of them are actually really intelligent people. Now, modern flat earth models are a bit different from ancient ones, as we have more understanding of our world. Many still believe in the disk model, but instead of a never-ending oceans, it is posed as a disk with the Arctic in the center and Antarctica as a wall of ice enclosing water and landmass. However, others believe that Antarctica is actually an infinite plane, meaning the ice stretches infinitely in all directions. Much of the flat earth community actually has really complex and interesting ideas to re-explain phenomena. They use science and relativity theories to re-explain how the world would work if the Earth was flat. It's actually fascinating because you go into arguing with a flat earther, expecting your claims to be backed by science, and theirs to be backed exclusively by theory, hearsay, and conspiracy. You say, well, how would gravity work in a flat earth? Expecting the flat earther to have never questioned that and get stumped. However, then the flat earther will hit you back with, well, gravity is an accelerant, and the feeling of the thing moving downwards could also be the ground coming up to meet the thing dropping. They can then keep going and cite Einstein's theory of relativity, the speed of light, and the fact that time is experiential as opposed to fixed, all as reasons to continue to explain how gravity could work on a flat Earth. The beauty of this is that flat earthers are challenging a belief that the rest of us has just assumed to be true from birth. And to be completely frank, they are typically more of an expert on the subject than we are, as the flat earth community has spent far more time thinking and analyzing about the earth and these theories than we have. Flat earthers also argue among each other about reasoning for believing in flat earth. Some cite historical astronomers such as Galileo and Isaac Newton as being Freemasons, and therefore their information and beliefs are untrustworthy. This is a more typical conspiracy theory tinfoil hat citation, but others use the powers of perception and observation, saying that the ground they walk on is flat and the horizon they see is flat, so why should they believe the earth is round? Others are simply fundamentalist Christians who believe that God made the world flat. There is honestly much more to the flat earth community. They have forums and conversations that frequently have believable evidence. They also have memes that are posted in large Facebook groups. Honestly, the biggest myth of the flat earth community is that they are a unified movement. And I think more people should just look into flat earth, not really to change their minds, but just to understand the community and thought process more. Well, that's it for this week, guys. See you next time on Solved.
Cryptid Girls